Hey everyone, I am Henry, Maury is on the left and Max is on the right. Today we're going to be talking about Titanfall and how I'm a little bit worried about how it's not going to do very well. And I'm going to have a little bit at least, of information to back that worry up. So the obvious question is, why do I care? Well, the obvious answer is because I like the game. I liked Titanfall 1 on the Xbox One, and I played some of the tech test on the PS4. And I like Titanfall 2. It's pretty fun. It's a fun game. I enjoy it a lot. It's a lot like Call of Duty. It plays a lot like Call of Duty. It's enough like Call of Duty that I can pick it up and play it quickly, but it's enough different than Call of Duty that it's something different and fresh. And so that's what appeals to me. It's different, so it's something of a change, but it's the same, so I can do it easily. So it's a great game. I enjoyed it a lot, and that's why I want it to do well. I don't want Call of Duty to be the only game I ever play. I want something a little bit different sometimes too. So, why am I worried that Titanfall 2 is not going to do very well? Two main reasons. One is anecdotal and one is a little bit more evidence-based. So I'll go with the anecdotal one first. And that is the following. When the tech test came out on the PS4, I was hoping to be playing this game a lot with my friends that were online, and I don't have a ton of friends online, but I do have enough, and I was looking forward to playing Titanfall with them. But that didn't happen. Only one or two of my friends turned out to play Titanfall 2 tech test, and so I was mostly playing this game alone on the 2 weekends that it was available. Now, this was a lot different than the time that Destiny came out. When Destiny came out, tons of people on my friends list were playing Destiny, and Destiny was a lot different than Call of Duty, and yet my friends found it interesting enough to be playing it, and I was having a hard time getting a group together to play Call of Duty. I tried Destiny, I actually bought Destiny, but I just didn't like it. It was not for me, it was not my kind of game. So after I gave it a good try, I decided to give up on it and go back to Call of Duty. But none of my friends did. They all stayed on Destiny for the longest time, and I could not get anybody to play Call of Duty with me. Now, contrast that to the Titanfall 2 tech test. Now, I realize it was just a tech test and not the actual release of the game, but I think it's still a pretty good comparison, because, if you're interested in Titanfall, why wouldn't you download the tech test and play it? So if I look at how many of my friends played Titanfall 2 tech test and compare that to the number of people that decided to just skip it and continue playing Call of Duty, even during a time of the year where Call of Duty was getting rather old and stale, I have to say, there was just one or two friends that actually tried tech test, and so very few people on my friends list seem to be interested in the game. So that has me worried. If I'm going to play this game, I want to play with friends. I don't want to play with strangers online. I don't want to really have to make new friends, although that's okay. If you guys want to join me and play Titanfall 2, I'd be glad to have you. But I will miss my old friends nonetheless. So it is still anecdotally accurate to say that there's not a lot of people interested in Titanfall 2. That has me worried. Why aren't any of my friends wanting to play this game? It's a lot like Call of Duty. It plays, a lot like Call of Duty. It's got lots of things that are different, but the mechanics of the game are very, very similar. Maybe that similarness is why they don't want to play it? I don't know. I'm not really here to analyze why they don't want to play it. I just want to point out that they don't want to play it, and that has me worried. So if a bunch of my friends wanted to play Destiny instead of Call of Duty, but almost none of my friends wanted to play Titanfall instead of Call of Duty, it makes me think that maybe Titanfall 2 is in trouble because nobody wants to play it. So you might be saying, hey Henry, watch out. You can't make the same comparison because Destiny was made by the makers of Halo, and you were playing on the Xbox One, and the Xbox is a famously Halo-oriented platform because Halo did so well there. So all your friends, they're going to be, hey, makers of Halo, gotta try this because it's Halo. Well, you got the point there, kinda. But on the other hand, Titanfall 2 is being made by the people that made Modern Warfare 2, and those are some of the best Call of Duties ever. Personally, Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite Call of Duty of all time, and so I have a lot of respect for these guys, because I really like the game. I also like Call of Duty 4 a lot, Modern Warfare, and I'm really looking forward to the remaster that's coming out in a couple weeks. Well, a little bit over a month, I guess, but I'm really looking forward to it. Great game, and the people that made that game, Titanfall, they made that too. Whatever, let's go on to my second point that has me worried about Titanfall 2 and how well it's going to do in the market. Here, take a look at this. Now, this is the amount of interest that Google is seeing on Google's web searches for certain games. You can see there's Call of Duty in blue, Black Ops 3 in red, Overwatch in yellow, Infinite Warfare in green, and Titanfall 2 in purple. I didn't include it, but I also did a search for Titanfall without saying Titanfall 2, and the line is basically the same as the purple line, so I just excluded it. If you want to see this graph for yourself, just go to google.com/trends and type in the keyword search terms above, and you'll see a graph that looks, well, and if not exactly like this, then very similar to this. So here we can see that surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but surprisingly to me, Overwatch is really popular. Look how it just stays over top of Call of Duty and all the other games pretty massively, huge lead. But we're not really here to talk about Overwatch. We're here to talk about Titanfall 2. And so you can see the line for Titanfall 2 is the purple line. It's at the very bottom, and it barely makes a dent in the graph. Compare that to the line for Infinite Warfare, the green one, and how interest in Infinite Warfare really peaked really high a little while ago when they revealed lots of information about it. And the peak of that is a hugely higher peak than the one for Titanfall 2 when they gave out lots of information, or the tech test, or whatever it was. And so near the end of this graph here, you can see the interest relatively close to today. I don't know when I took the screenshot, it wasn't very long ago. And so you can see that Call of Duty in general, Black Ops 3 is very close, and Infinite Warfare is inching up there. They're very much more popular search terms on Google than Titanfall 2. So is this an indicator about how well Titanfall 2 is going to do in the market? Yeah, I think so. I mean, if people are not searching for it, then they're not interested in it, right? So what is EA going to do about this? What is Respawn going to do about this? This game is coming up very shortly, and I'm not hearing a lot about it. I mean, I'm hearing a little bit about it today, a little bit about the PC version and minimum specs. I think I saw some tweets about that. But all in all, I'm not hearing a lot about this game coming up, which is really surprising. This reminds me of earlier this year when Star Trek 2, or no, Star Trek 3, I guess, was coming out. And there was not a lot of talk about that movie coming out either. And I was really surprised because it's a big blockbuster movie. You'd think that they'd be, promoting it everywhere, but they just weren't, which was really weird. And the same thing seems to be happening here with Titanfall. So you might ask yourself, hey, how did Star Trek Beyond do in the theaters? Good you asked, because I have the numbers right here in front of me. $157 million lifetime gross. Well, I don't know if that's US or worldwide, but it doesn't really matter because these numbers can be compared either way because they're going to be the same. Star Trek Into Darkness, the one before it, $228 million, which was, what, $70 million more. What about Star Trek, the first of the reboot movies? How much did it make? $257 million. So a full $100 million more than Star Trek Beyond. Now, is that fully due to because of the promotion? Maybe, maybe not. Star Trek, the original of the reboot, was a new property and hot, but it doesn't help that Star Trek Beyond was not promoted. I just remember seeing it sneak up on me. Oh, it's in the theaters. What's going on? It was like a no-show before it ever reached the theaters. And that seems to be what's happening now with Titanfall 2. They're just not promoting it enough, getting it out in the eyes of people, ears of people, the tweets and Facebooks and Instagrams and Snapchats and whatever else that you have to use these days to get things out in front of people. Because the search for this game is just not there. People are not interested in Titanfall 2. And that has me worried because, to be frank, I want to play this game. I want to play this game a lot. But if nobody else is playing this game, what good is that? I want my friends to be playing this game. I want strangers to be playing this game. I want everybody to be playing this game. If people aren't playing this game, well, EA and Respawn aren't going to put a lot of time into that free DLC they promised. Free, yes, did I hear right? Yes, free DLC. They said that all the map and mode DLC is going to be free. Isn't that awesome? I mean, if they want to sell skins and stuff like that and cosmetic items, I don't care. Go right ahead. But the important stuff for me, the maps and the modes, those are going to be free, which is really cool. And I'm looking forward to it. But anyways, I digress. This is going to be a good game, but there's not a lot of interest in it. And I need there to be a lot of interest in it because I want to play it. What's EA going to do? What's Respawn going to do? I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do to fix this problem. And I'm scared that at the end of the day, this game is going to go nowhere. Kind of like Titanfall 1 did. Even though it looks like Titanfall 2 is going to have a ton of content in it, which was one of the major things that people said was a bad thing about Titanfall 1, and that was keeping Titanfall 1 back from being a good game instead of being the flash in the pan that it turned out to be. So what do you guys think? Am I off base? Do I have a point? Do you think anything here makes sense? Do you think that it's all a bunch of hogwash? I want to know. Leave your comments below. This is Henry, over and out.